Hey everybody, Brian Trow of Mossy Creek Fly Fishing, coming to you from a wonderful brook trout stream today with an episode of Fly Fishing Untangled. So today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about streamer fishing for brook trout, okay? This is something that folks really don't do a whole lot of here in Virginia. Central Appalachians, Southern Appalachians, our mountain brook trout streams are a lot smaller than they are than points further north. If you go up to places like Maine, people have been streamer fishing for brook trout for decades, and lots of traditional streamer patterns that are used up there. Most folks, when they think about brook trout fishing in the South, they think about fishing dry flies, which is wonderful and a lot of fun. But you know, brook trout are descended from Arctic char. They can be a nasty fish. I mean, they like eating bait, they like chasing bait. These brook trout streams can get really starved for food certain times of the year, and the brook trout have to be able to change foods and switch foods over, and they will absolutely eat bait. These creeks are full of little tiny dace minnows. They're full of darters, little fall fish, little sculpins, crayfish, and of course other brook trout. They will absolutely eat each other if they have to. So I think one of the reasons why a lot of folks in the Mid-Atlantic and the South don't streamer fish for brook trout is, one, if the brook trout in your stream are very small, like teeny tiny little fingerlings, then it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But in the streams here in this part of Virginia, I mean, there's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-inch brook trout. So we just pair our our fly properly for them. We'll fish size 8s and size 10s instead of fishing, 4s and 6s like we do on our bigger streams. Also, fishing these mountain streams, the approach with a streamer can be challenging. That's what I'm going to share with you all today. I'm going to kind of show you a couple different scenarios that you can get into on these brook trout streams, and how to break them down and how to fish them with the streamer. So let's get started. All right, so one thing that I want to talk about before I get fishing here is the terminal tackle. A lot of brook trout fishermen are used to using really light stuff. You're definitely going to have to size up your leader in order to throw these a little bit bigger streamers. All right, so this is the normal position for fishing a brook trout stream. We typically orient ourselves facing upstream. The fish are facing upstream. We're coming up from behind them. Now, I'm streamer fishing upstream, which is sometimes tough to do. If you notice, I'm working what I call the soft edges. Some of these slower waters that are off to the side, I can let my fly get down, okay? And then I've got slow enough current that I can manage my slack. I can give it little kicks, little swims, and I can still retrieve this fly back to me even though the water's coming back to me, all right? So if it's slow enough, you can put yourself in a position just like this, and you can still manage your line and manage your streamer. I've got a little darker one on here because that seems to be doing better today, but a lot of times you can fish a much brighter streamer, and you can actually, in these crystal clear pools, you can see it all the way back. So just kind of assessing the speed, making sure I'm getting down deep enough, and trying to stay tight. Remember, brook trout strike fast, all right? Now, I'm gonna move up here in a moment, and I'm gonna show you what I like to do if the current is coming back at me a little too quickly. So now I've moved up a little bit, and the water is coming back at me a lot faster. So I've switched over, and I've got a strike indicator on. And whenever you're matching a strike indicator to your fly, you definitely got to go a little bit heavier in order to support that little heavier streamer. But the idea here is, as I fish in this straight upstream into this much faster water, that strike indicator is definitely going to help me out. It's going to help me fish slower, and unlike when you're trying to dead drift a nymph, it's still okay to give your little your indicator a strip or two, okay? So I'm gonna try and throw way up into that fast water, let that streamer get down nice and deep, and just keep an eye on it and fish it on back to you, just like you were nymph fishing, but it's a lot bigger meal for them. All right, so after approaching the pool from down below where the slower water was, now I'm going to try an upstream approach, which is a little bit more natural way to fish a streamer. In these brook trout pools, under low water, this may not be doable because you're just going to be spooking everything in sight. Remember, they're facing upstream, I'm upstream. So now I'm up here. I've picked this spot because there's a lot of current coming in. And as water rushes and moves and creates sound and throws light, it makes it a lot harder for the fish to see me. In spite of that, I'm still going to take a little bit lower approach, especially as I begin, okay? So now I'm going to fish a down and across approach, just like I would a larger stream, okay? I'm gonna always changing up retrieve. Sometimes you're letting it dangle. Sometimes you're just letting it sweep across the pool, okay? Time to start covering water, which is the beauty of a streamer. Because you can really cover a pool well. Work your mins, let your streamer dangle. Throw a little slack, allow it to get down deeper in the pool, okay? Brook trout love a big streamer fed to them. So when it comes to selecting your streamer, it's no different than selecting a dry fly or a nymph for the brook trout. You're gonna have your natural looking bugs, like your crystal bugger here, looks like a little hellgrammite or something like that. And then you're gonna have attractor patterns like this pink retriever or these hot spots streamers. So they love bright colors, brook trout love bright colors, so you either wanna go natural, and then if that's not working after a while, you can switch over to one of your hot colors. Make sure, because you're fishing a larger hook now for these delicate little fish, that you're either fishing a barbless hook or you mash your barbs. So you wanna take really good care of those little brook trout.